weird.
The Midwest is known for its ever-growing industry in farming and its down-to-earth people. Yet, this is where the most heinous crimes occur. Today, we will be diving into 5 cold cases that shook seemingly peaceful towns. Number 5. Angela Ford was a 32-year-old mother of 2 children at the time of her disappearance and murder in 1999. But to truly understand this case, you know we must start from the beginning. It is said one day in 1999, Angela went to pick up her kids' report cards from school. This was the last time that her children saw her. Then, Angela went missing for several days before being found in an abandoned building less than 2 miles away from her home. It remains unknown how many days she was missing and if she was reported missing. But when she was found, she was beaten, sexually assaulted, strangled, and left for dead. Yet, she still clung to life. Angela had severe blunt force trauma and was declared brain dead. Therefore, the police was never able to talk to Angela about the attack. However, DNA was obtained. Angela remained in a coma for about 1.5 years before passing away on January 4th, 2001. Authorities believe that Angela was killed by a serial killer due to other victims dying in the same manner. Angela's case is still unsolved. Number 4.
Can an ambulance replace someone to 1765 Stonehenge Court in Wheeling immediately? There's one young woman there who's not breathing. She's turning blue.
Jamie Santos was a one-of-a-kind girl who was not only independent, but liked to live life on her own terms. Jamie's death came as a shock to her family, and they didn't even know what to make of the mysterious 911 call that surrounded it. But to truly understand this case, we must start from the beginning. Just a week before, her family said that Jamie was acting normal. However, the friend that cuts her hair said she was a bit off. Jamie then spent Friday night with her sister and then worked 3 parties on Saturday. Sundays were usually quiet for her, so she stayed in and watched movies. On that tragic day, a man called 911. He was talking quickly and he seemed a little nervous. He reported that a woman wasn't breathing and was turning blue.
Yeah. When were you at that house, sir?
The authorities arrived only 5 minutes after the call. They found the door to her house closed, but not locked. Jamie is found on her bedroom floor in a nightshirt and underwear. She later passed away due to suffocation. The most puzzling part is that her apartment was neat, no sign of struggle. She had not been sexually assaulted, neither was drugs in her system. There has been many leads, but each of them led to a dead end. The police believe that Jamie knew her killer and hopes the fingerprints that were found can help bring justice to her family. Number 3. Brittany Stykes was a person who enjoyed country living and spending time with her family. She loved tending to the farm animals and riding horses. So when Brittany is found on the side of the road, slumped in her vehicle, it caused panic within her loved ones. But if we truly want to understand this case, we must start from the beginning. This was a day that was filled with excitement. Brittany started the day by wishing her beloved father happy birthday, and that she'd be over that evening to see him. But first, her and her 14-month-old daughter, Aubrey, headed to her mother-in-law's house a few towns over. The pair had dinner before they packed up and headed to Ripley, Ohio to see her father. Around 7:15 p.m., Brittany texts her family to let them know she is close. This is the last time they would ever hear from Brittany. A passerby on Brittany's route noticed headlights shining out of a wooded area. Concerned, he makes a U-turn on Highway 68 to see if the driver needed help. But what he finds is startling. Brittany is unresponsive and slumped over the steering wheel. Aubrey is in the front seat crying with a bullet wound to the head. Brittany was only a few miles away from her parents' home when she was murdered, so close that her family heard the sirens as they rushed to the crime scene, worried that it was Brittany. This is when their worst fears were confirmed. Brittany was shot 3 times and pronounced dead at the scene. Aubrey was shot in the head, but alive. There have been suspects, but none with enough evidence to point them to the murder of Brittany. Her case remains unsolved. Number 2. Sarah Wallace was described as a warm, kind-hearted, outgoing person. She had dreams of becoming a nurse to assist hospice patients. So how can such a wonderful person die in such a gruesome manner? At 11 p.m., Sarah had plans to meet up with her boyfriend, Leonard Messer, for drinks at a local bar. The two got into an argument and sat on the opposite ends of the bar. They also left the bar separately. At 1:15 a.m. on July 6th, a neighbor heard a loud noise and felt the entire apartment building shake. Sarah was killed by a gunshot wound to the neck while Leonard was in the apartment. Leonard then left the apartment and fled to his parents' house. Jean Messer, his mother, called 911, saying her son shot his girlfriend. Leonard later told the police that the two had a heated exchange and the gun went off. He also said that Sarah was being suicidal. But when the police arrived to Sarah, she was slumped over with the gun in her lap. Investigators quickly determined that this was not a self-inflicted gun wound. Leonard also confessed to the murder of Sarah to a girl he was on and off with. Unfortunately, when everything was brought to trial, the jury let him go because of the lack of evidence. Her killer walked out free. Number 1. Kobi Walden was extremely close to his little sister. He had 4 nieces that he adored and would do anything for. So when Kobi's life was taken, it took a big piece away from his family, and it hit hard for his sister. But we must go to where it all began. Kobi had attended a Rebels practice session where he had a tough but thoroughly satisfying workout. After leaving the rink, he stopped at a Kroger's grocery store before returning to his Indianapolis apartment. He sat in his apartment parking lot for 20 minutes and made a quick post to Facebook about how good practice was. After he got out of his car, it was assumed that he was confronted by a gunman. Perhaps it was a robbery gone wrong. It was suspected when Kobi's wedding ring, which he always wore, was missing, along with his cell phone and wallet. Kobi tried to run from his assailant, but was fatally shot in his attempt to escape. At 10:03 p.m., residents of the apartment complex heard gunshots. They called 911, and authorities did respond, but couldn't locate any gunshot victim. The following morning, a gruesome discovery was made. A group of teenagers that were fishing found Kobi in the woods along a creek behind an apartment complex. The remains were identified as Kobi's, and he was shot multiple times and laying face down near the creek. The police investigated every lead available, but they always led to a dead end. His sister even received a haunting phone call about her brother's murder, but that also led the police nowhere. Kobi's case is still unsolved. See you next time.